Hi, I'm Dave Scott, and I hope to introduce myself to you in about 5 minutes. Trusty egg timer, and trying to find a time that fits well with YouTube, not have tremendous upload times. So, somewhat of a smorgasbord, buffet style format. I'm still learning video production, as you can possibly look around my study and see audio equipment, computers, speakers, headphones, microphones. I've really a beginner at audio production too, but I'm a lot farther than I am on video production. So I'm trying to find a way to introduce myself to you and to be as natural as I can, the best thing for all parties involved, that I make the very best representation possible that you can get to know me, and we can take it from there and see if we want to meet, find out more about each other. In one way, I think sometimes I can hardly wait to meet real people. I do so many things on the web. I've done things on the radio. Of course, I do things involved with people here on my job, at church, working with our praise band, different things like that. So here's my buffet, the smorgasbord. I'm a moody guy, and I've got, we left this area and sold our home, moved our family to the Chicago area, and I went to Moody, graduated from there, stayed in the area to work on my bachelor's degree. In the process, picked up a couple of degrees at Morton College, went back to Moody for my Bachelor of Arts degree, and then a few years later I began work on my Master of Arts degree, and I completed it in 1996. I am 57 years old as of Thursday. Just some thoughts I've written down as far as people who have had an influence on me. One of the first most significant was Francis Schaeffer. I know we think a lot of his input on some of the moral and ethical causes, but he was such a thinker as far as God's thoughts of us and God's plan of redemption, God's plan for this world. Francis Schaeffer was the first one who got me. You know, we think of salvation, of redemption, of peace with God, and we think of this peace with other people and peace with ourselves. But he also brought up, as it would teach in like Romans 8, for instance, the war that was brought to creation in Genesis chapter 3. And so through redemption, peace with creation, peace with this earth. And it was probably the first thoughts I had heard of like a Christian ecological view. And obviously we don't worship the creation, we worship the Creator. But we see that God's glory is shown all around. We see pictures of God. We see the mark of God. I'm checking my egg timer. I've already got 3.5 minutes, so I'm going to have to work on my time. Francis Schaeffer, Larry Crabb has played a definite role several years ago with his book Inside Out, because I felt like he took such an honest biblical position on who we are. And you know, Jesus spoke of the Pharisees in his day of paying attention to the outside of the dish, and basically told them they looked great, but inside there were dead men's bones. And Larry Crabb did some really good work there. And a book I recently read that's been out for well over a year is Real Church. Two influences via radio now. I listen to Steve Brown a lot and Alistair Begg. I love my iPod because I can come home, and if I usually don't hear all of the broadcast, all the radio broadcast, but I can go to the Truth for Life site and Key Life and subscribe to the podcast, and automatically it's sent to my iTunes. And I come home and plug in my iPod and charge it, and it syncs the podcast so I can listen to Steve Brown, Alistair Begg, and I can rewind and listen again, and I can save it. So, and both of those men very intently. I guess one of the things, there's many people teaching the Bible, but it seems like that, not that we're looking for something new, but it seems like you hear just the same old thing, and they are still, I guess the best way to put it is, I believe they are still willing to allow God to teach them their Steve Brown, the grace and mercy, just the great accomplishment of salvation, of redemption. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop, and I'll continue this because I've already got 5.5 minutes, and that's going to be too big for my computer and yours too, probably, unless you have a lot faster DSL.